This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Hello and welcome to episode 65 of Marbella with him and her. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray.
I'm feeling a bit weary.
Are you?
We've had a long drive and a long couple of days, haven't we?
Yeah.
More on that later.
Absolutely. We're recording this on Saturday because we have a busy day tomorrow.
For a change.
Sunday for a change. Yes. So we wanted to get it sorted on Saturday before going out tonight, obviously.
Well, actually, when you say busy, let's put this in context. You're going to be laying on a beach and I'm going to be sorting out cables in a storeroom.
Yeah, busy sounded better.
Uh-huh.
So more impressive. On Wednesday, the Del Sol Singers, which is the choir that I sing in, had our first summer gig, or first gig of the summer, at La Sala, which is always a lovely place to perform because yummy food, yummy drink, the staff are really nice. So that was lovely. It was for a charity event. Actually, a really heartbreaking reason. A lovely lady called Hayley has set up a charity called Sienna Elizabeth Rose Legacy, which is to support families in Spain whose babies are born sleeping. And Sienna, that's exactly what happened to Hayley. Her baby Sienna was stillborn. So everybody was asked to wear pink. All the ladies that were going to the lunch, because there was a fashion show and a set menu and things. We didn't stay for the lunch, but we were there singing and we were all asked to wear pink as well. So everybody was wearing pink, which was lovely. And we did probably the hardest gig we've had to do because obviously the emotion that Hayley and her family and her friends obviously still feel over the loss of Sienna. It was only a few months ago. It hasn't even been a year. So incredibly sad, incredibly painful, and we all know how powerful music can be when you're feeling delicate, when you're feeling sad. So our first song was Here Comes the Sun, and even before we started singing, just the music, women were crying, they were wiping their tears away, they were hugging each other. Oh, it was really difficult. And when we sung Heal the World, there's lines about people dying and oh my goodness, it was really, really hard.
Yeah, you showed me the video of it being sung, so obviously people filming you singing and then onto the audience and just see them crying and you can't help but feel emotional when you see that video as well.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, that was very challenging, but a real honour to be able to perform at the gig, and we got great feedback from both La Sala and Hayley and other ladies that were at the lunch saying how brilliant the choir was. So that's really, really nice. And I designed and bought myself a necklace.
And a lovely necklace it is too.
Yeah, so a really lovely girl called Victoria had a stand where you could choose the type of necklace you wanted, different sizes, chunky or more delicate, and then a whole selection of different charms, some bigger and more thicker than others, and all different shapes and sizes and things like that. And I've always wanted a charm necklace, and it was great, really good quality. It's all stainless steel. She said you can wear it in the shower and the swimming pool. I don't think I will, but you can, which is good to know. And yeah, the charms, whatever size or shape they are, they were all €4 each, which I thought was really, really good.
And it's great. It's like a good summer necklace, isn't it? You've got palm trees on there and you've got little love hearts on there and really nice.
Yeah. So
I love the name of her company as well.
Charmer. Yes.
Charmer Victoria.
Charmer by Vic.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah,
great
really
name.
Nice. So thank you, Victoria, for that. I love my necklace and definitely recommend you and all the charms and everything else. We have been very good this week. We've had a lot of salads for dinner.
Yep, and I'm still being creative with my salads if I can.
You really are.
So this week I made gado, which is
epic.
It's an Indonesian salad. So I like to have a bit of sort of flavour in there. And it's basically you have things like carrots and green beans, but you very sort of blanch them. I think that's the word. You cook them very quickly and then plunge them into cold water so they've still got a crunch and a bite to them. And you do a hard-boiled egg and then mix up a nice sort of
potatoes.
And some potatoes, yes, boiled potatoes, and you have a sort of peanut dressing with it. So yeah, enjoyed eating that.
It was
and I
really
enjoyed
good.
making it.
And as well as healthy salads, you kind of had the opposite to that. You somehow ended up having a Guinness milkshake at the quiz.
Yes, so I shared a picture with the owners of the Hogan Stand, Ross and Amy, of somebody, it was an article in one of the papers in the UK where they're basically making Guinness milkshakes. So I think Amy's reaction was yuck. Ross was quite intrigued, and he must have told one of the staff, obviously, at the Hogan Stand, because she came up and said, oh, would you like a Guinness milkshake? And she made me one. And it was interesting.
Yes, I had a sip of it, and I'm not sure I'd want a whole one.
I'm not sure I'd want it again. It was proper milkshake. So it was half a pint of Guinness, literally whizzed up with vanilla ice cream and some chocolate sauce in there. The one I saw in the picture actually is more like a Guinness float. So it has ice cream sitting on top of it. So I'd like to try that one. If you're listening, that's my next one to try.
Okay. You got a lot of reaction though, didn't you? People were like, what is that?
Yes, people
And not many people said, oh, I'd like a Guinness milkshake.
No, they actually had looks of disgust on their face, especially the Irish people who thought, what the hell are you doing to our national drink?
Yes, exactly. Bloody English. We have just come back from Madrid and what's the other place called? Ciudad Real. So something I was very excited about. We went to the Friends experience in Madrid, but we mentioned on the podcast that we were looking at hotels and couldn't find a hotel for under 250 euros in Madrid. So we made extra work for ourselves, but saved a fair bit of money by driving 2.5 hours south of Madrid to our hotel. It was only 74 euros.
But we got to see other places of Spain that we've never seen before.
We did. So let's talk about the Friends experience. Well, actually, before the Friends experience, we had listened to some brilliant music on the journey. I created a ridiculously large Kylie playlist when we bought the tickets for Kylie, who we're going to see in Seville in July. So we got to grips with Kylie, and
I'd like to get to grips with Kylie.
Yeah, I bet. So there's, so many hits that you forget about. So many. There's loads we don't know, but loads that we were like,
you were telling me, that's when she went through a country and western phase. No idea she did that.
Yeah.
And this is when she went through a
disco.
No idea she did that.
Oh yeah. So she had a country album, a disco album. She can do anything, Kylie. So that was fun.
She's like, if you could imagine what God would be if it was a woman.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll accept that. And then on another part of the journey, we were listening to my cousin Nick's 90s playlist, which was brilliant. It was it was all indie stuff. So it was Pearl Jam, it was Primal Scream, it was Oasis, it was Blur, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I wasn't so keen. I mean, I knew some of them, obviously, but not all of them. And then some of them were just utter shite.
Oi!
Yeah, some of them were just not great songs.
Can I be blunt and say maybe it's a age thing?
No.
Okay. Well, Nick and I are a similar age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. There's a song by R.E.M. that was on the playlist called The Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight. And it's a very catchy song, but it's very difficult to understand what he's singing.
You've ruined a whole, probably 2 decades of my life now, because I used to sing along to this song.
I prefer your lyrics, though. So the bit
But
when
I
it goes...
literally 100% thought it was the lyrics I was singing. 100%. I had no idea it was something different.
Yours are much better. So the bit where it goes, and I didn't know, I used to sing gobbledygook. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Gobbledygook for years. And then Alan at work, he said, what is that line that he's singing? And I said, you know what? I've got no idea. So we Googled it. And the line is, call me when you try to wake her up. So it's the chorus that goes, call me when you're trying to wake her up. Call me when you're trying to wake her up. Call me when you're trying to wake her up.
Yeah, when you're
like
singing
that.
it, I understand that.
Okay.
If it was you singing that. But all I hear is, calling Jamaica now, calling Jamaica now. And I've sung that for years.
Calling Jamaica now, calling Jamaica now.
I just thought he had someone in Jamaica that was a friend and he was going to call them. Like, ruined. Don't want to listen to it ever again.
I want to sing Calling Jamaica now. It's much better. Also, gorgeous scenery we got to see on the drive to Madrid. So it's a good 6 hours, isn't it? The drive?
I think, yeah, it's a good 6 hours.
Yeah. And we wanted to stop somewhere for lunch. We left at 8:30 in the morning and we had the Friends Experience booked for 4:30. So that left us, we thought, plenty of time to stop for like an hour for lunch. We didn't know where we were going to stop. We decided let's stop about an hour before Madrid. So it was going to be a late lunch. And you found a place online called Ocaña. So it's basically caña, a small beer, with an O in front of it. So we were like, oh, let's get a caña in Ocaña.
That was our joke in Spanish.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they really got it.
No. But we didn't get a caña or anything because nowhere did tapas. There was this gorgeous square with loads of restaurants, well, not loads, but like one in each corner, I suppose, restaurants. And they were all proper restaurants.
And one of them was called something tapas and whatever. Oh, do you do tapas? No, platos.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's called tapas.
Very weird. But we obviously went there for a reason because we noticed that their local church was called San Pedro, which we thought was pretty cool. So we got a photograph of that. And then there was a sign that talked about Ocaña. And there's like an Ocaña Day, so smaller than a feria, I guess, but obviously where they celebrate their village. And that is the 30th of May, which is my mum's birthday. So we took a photo of that. So we felt like we went to Ocaña for a reason, but it wasn't food, unfortunately.
No. So we stopped for lunch outside the venue.
Yes, literally outside the venue.
And then we had to eat it quickly because we were running late now.
Yeah, we were in a rush. It was crazy. So there were like 5 restaurants opposite the venue and we went into all of them and it didn't seem like any of them did tapas, but then one of them did. And we were very pleased because we ordered a drink and they came all with some free chicken.
Which is how we started to figure out that Madrid, like Granada and like Seville, or some of the places in Seville, when you order a drink you get a free tapa. So we got some chicken wings.
We got chicken wings.
And then we ordered their Kentucky Fried Chicken version of tapas. Wasn't great.
No.
It's like chicken nuggets.
And patatas bravas, which was the biggest bowl of patatas bravas we've ever seen.
Yeah, and normally if we were sitting there all day, we'd like, oh, yeah, it's all right. We'd work our way through those slowly.
We were uncomfortably full and rushing, and I was like, this is annoying. Anyway, then we went across to the Friends Experience, which was amazing.
Can I just say, before we went across to the Friends Experience, I was sitting there and I thought, like this trailer went past with something in it, and I looked up and said, Carlos signed. Oh my God, that's Carlos Sainz. That's a Formula One driver. That's his car, and it had the Formula One car in the back of this truck. So everyone from the restaurant rushed out and started taking pictures. I spotted it.
So you got a picture and put it up on TikTok, and
I've
it's got
got
quite
a few pictures.
traction.
Yeah, it's got loads of likes.
Really cool. So the Friends Experience, you got to go. They basically remade the set in various different forms. So we were in Joey and Chandler's apartment. We played foosball. It was actually working, the foosball machine.
I lost because I scored an own goal.
Yeah, well done. And we sat on their lazy boy chairs. I had a hug of Hugsy, and there was a bit where you could stand, you could put your head in place. The bit when Joey comes out wearing all of Chandler's clothes and says, could I be wearing any more clothes? You could reenact that bit, which was fun. We went to Monica and Rachel's apartment. We sat on their table where they have tea.
Pivot!
We did the pivot sofa bit, so you can reenact that.
You threw me down the stairs.
Yes, the bit when Ross...
in front of the cheesecake.
Oh, it was so good. I pointed at ugly naked guy across the street.
You sang Smelly Cat.
I sang Smelly Cat. You could pick up a Phoebe's guitar and sing outside Central Perk. So I did that. It was just fab.
You have fulfilled a lifetime ambition.
Yes.
You played all the characters of Friends during that trip,
Yeah.
basically.
We went into the coffee house. You put the green apron on
I
to
made
make
a
a cup of
a coffee in Central Perk.
Oh, it was really cool. I mean, the brilliant thing to do if you're a Friends fan, obviously. The tickets were only €16, something like that, and we were in there for an hour.
The bit we were disappointed at, you must scan the thing so you get the photo century,
yes.
don't forget that.
Yeah.
But the bit we were disappointed at was the gift shop afterwards, because it was all Friends experience writing on T-shirts and whatnot. So it wasn't like you were getting a Friends T-shirt, you were getting the Friends experience. Now, some of it was cool because it's the one in Madrid. That's what they put on there. But yeah, if they just had Friends on certain things,
I
think
would have bought a T-shirt.
Yeah,
if there
absolutely.
were better merchandise.
But you don't really want the Friends experience.
No, exactly. I did get a couple of fridge magnets, and I bought an umbrella.
Oh, we did that at the
Friends.
beginning. We sat on the sofa where they sing the song in the opening credits, and 12 umbrellas in front of the fountain. We did that. We sat on that sofa with umbrellas.
Yeah. It's really, really, really fun. Yeah, so only €16 for tickets, which I think for a fan of the show is brilliant. You know, if they were 25, pushing it a bit, but 16, fabulous. Ciudad Real is where we stayed for the night, and we were a bit nervous because our landlord, when you told him that's where we were staying, he screwed his face up and said it was ugly.
Yeah, he wasn't very sort of complimentary about where we'd chosen to stay.
So we were a bit nervous.
I thought, well, what's going to happen here? Are there drugs on each corner and people like shooting up?
And don't.
But it was really pretty, they had the most bizarre clock chime.
Yes, this whole show.
Yeah, it's like these full-size figures came out and did things on.
He came up with a sword.
Yeah, I thought they were going to chop people's heads off, but I don't know
what they weren't real.
They weren't real, no. But very interesting and noisy.
And we loved and definitely took advantage of the free tapas every time you ordered wine. So because we had a late lunch, we weren't actually that hungry. We were thinking we'd have steak and chips somewhere, but we weren't that hungry. So we decided to do a tapas crawl.
So we went to a Vinoteca to start with, didn't we?
Yeah. And the girl working there didn't know what criantha was.
No, this does drive me nuts. Have you got any criantha? Si. Oh, okay. Roble? No, crianza. So yeah, it frustrates me, especially when it's a wine bar.
Yeah,
you'd expect them to know a bit more about wine. But anyway, we got there. We had the Ramon Bilbao Rioja Crianza, which is actually gorgeous, and we got tapas, which were chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, yes. So we started to be slightly concerned that we're going to get chicken everywhere we went, because that was the second place where we had chicken, but thankfully that didn't happen again. We went to another place and got some, it was called Bar Ibiza actually, and got these kind of really cool pizza things.
But they were gorgeous.
Really nice.
Really nice, yeah.
Really, really nice. We went to another wine bar that was packed and really buzzy. And I asked if they had criantha, and the guy was like, "Si," and gave us the menu. And the menu just listed the wine, but didn't say whether they were roble or criantha, so it didn't really help us. So I went to the bar and said to the woman in Spanish, I was very impressed with my Spanish, asked if they had a criantha that you could order by the glass. She wasn't sure, so she went and got somebody else, and then another guy came to me, so I asked him the same question. He said, un momento, and disappeared out the back, and I was hoping he was going to come back with wine, but he didn't. He came back with another guy, who then started saying, again, obviously in Spanish, saying, yeah, we do have criantha, we've got this one, which is a roble. And I was saying to him, no, in Spanish, I was saying to him, no, roble and criantha are different. And he was it was obviously the owner or the manager of this really nice wine bar. And I felt a bit embarrassed
He was
with him,
mansplaining that they're the same.
Yes, he was mansplaining, but he was wrong. Roble is a young wine and criantha is a medium body, so you can never get a roble criantha. They're two different things.
Unfortunately, we are wine snobs. But also, we have, we sometimes thought, oh, sod it, let's just have a roble. We get a massive headache because there's more tannins in a young wine. So we just don't like young wine. I don't like the flavour of it either.
Don't like the taste,
no.
So it's just our
it's
thing.
Personal preference.
Yeah, and if there's a place that, and we were enjoying having a few glasses of wine, so if they didn't do criantha, we went somewhere else. It wasn't like, oh, okay, we'll have it then. So, we needed to make sure they had it.
So we went via an Asian restaurant.
Yeah, it looked really nice from the outside.
Yeah,
It
then-
looked quite posh, but then
yeah.
when we were inside, it wasn't.
No, and looked down at the plates and they were just swimming in like sauce. It was almost like a chain, you know, it's all pre-made.
But we asked them if they had coriantha, and the guy didn't know, so he bought us the wine list. And I was interested in the price, and it makes you realise how much restaurants put extra on the price of wine.
Especially in Marbella.
Yeah, we all know this, but all his wines, so they didn't have coriantha, so we didn't stay, but all of his wines, apart from one, were under €10. For a bottle, they were €8 something, €7 something, €9 something, in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show, because you're lucky to get a bottle of wine for under 18, 20 euros.
Yeah, 15, between 15 and 20, aren't they, here, minimum?
Yeah. So anyway, so we didn't go to the Chinese. So then we found another tapas place that was sort of a last resort that ended up being the best place of the night. It was called Pureza Alta Taberna, and it was absolutely packed. It was a real buzzing place. Lots of young Spanish
Great
people.
decor.
Yeah, oh yeah. There was lots of pictures of bullfighting all over the place.
And Maradona playing England. Yes, that Hand of God football match, that was on the wall, so obviously they enjoyed that.
More than you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So yes, it was a very traditional Spanish place, and it was fantastic. There was a girl who worked there who was really helpful, and we were saying that we wanted coriantha, and she said, "Do you speak English? We can speak English." And we were like, "Oh, okay, thank you very much." She obviously wanted to speak English, and we explained what we liked, and she understood totally, and brought us this bottle and poured us 2 glasses, and it was delicious. And then came along with some free tapa, which was a couple of slices of cheese and 2 bits of chorizo.
So when we say cheese, so what's the place we called? Ciudad Real is where Manchego comes from, essentially.
Yeah.
The football team, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There was a football scarf behind the bar that said Ciudad Real on it, but it also had Manchego.
Well,
and I thought, how funny.
I looked it up, and that is the name of the football team, Ciudad Real Manchego.
Brilliant. So we thought, let's stay here. So we went up and said, can we actually have the rest of the bottle? So we'll have the whole bottle of wine. And she was delighted. And then I ordered some more tapa, and I ordered some more tapa. So we had quite a few little bits there.
Yeah, really tasty stuff as well.
Really nice. We had this one with salted cod and oranges and
orange
onions
segments in there. It was lovely.
Oh, really nice. And we had some jamon, and yeah, really, really delicious. And then when we went to pay, asked for the bill, and the bill just had a €20 bottle of wine on it, and that was it. And we said again in Spanish, it was a different girl who was serving us, and I said, no, tapas.
Had
You know, we had lots of tapas.
Yeah.
And she was saying, no, it's free. You don't need to pay for tapas. And we were like, really?
I mean, there's hamon. Hamon's not cheap.
Yeah, the guy sliced the jamon for us.
So we thought she had got it wrong, or the other girl hadn't put it on the bill. So we felt so bad that we left another €10 on top. I mean, we probably didn't cover it, but we just wanted to leave extra to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we expected to pay like another €15-20 for the tapas.
So we keep talking about it and wondering whether it was wrong or not. I mean, we're really pleased that we gave the extra €10 and more than happy to, even if we didn't need to. Because, I mean, how do they make any money if all that food was free? But we were thinking maybe because we had a bottle, you know, if we kept ordering more glasses of wine, then we'd probably get free tapa each time you order a new glass of wine, because that is what normally happens.
Yeah, and it's a different one each time usually in those sort of places.
So we wondered, as we had the bottle, that maybe we didn't have to pay for the food. We just thought that was unbelievable.
Well, we weren't sure. So hopefully, if we were meant to pay, we've left some money towards it. And if we weren't meant to pay, they got a nice tip.
Yeah, exactly. So all good, hopefully. And then we thought, well, we should probably go to an Irish pub on the way home.
Yes.
So we did. And you had a pint of Guinness and I had 2 gin and tonics.
Did you have 2?
Because you were really slow drinking your Guinness, so I had another one.
No wonder you felt like crap this morning.
Yes, it wasn't because of the Roble wine. And we were staying at a lovely hotel called Hotel Alonso X, or 10.
I thought it was Silken.
I know, but the hotel was... I mean, that's the chain. Silken is the name of the chain. But the hotel was Hotel Alonso X, and it's a 4-star hotel right in the centre, opposite loads of shops.
Do you think when it's Hotel X, it's like Alfonso the 10th?
Well, that's what I said, 10. X
okay.
and then 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, good point. And then on the way home, more gorgeous views, so many beautiful flowers. We saw flamingos.
Yeah, Los Flamingos.
Yeah, so we pulled over and took lots of photos.
Oh, I mean,
just amazing amount of flamingos
massive amounts
just in
of
the
them,
wild.
yeah, just like randomly. It's like, hang on, they're flamingos.
Yeah.
So we sort of skidded to a halt as soon as we could, and it was lucky because it was like a lay-by that you could just pull out, and we took as you said, loads of photos.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And there were beautiful poppies by the side of the road. There were whole massive fields of sunflowers, which was gorgeous, and something which I thought was really stunning. From about Cordoba area, almost to Malaga, the motorways were completely lined with pink and white flowers. Massive, massive bushes.
I think they're oleanders, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely stunning. I mean, breathtaking. It was so beautiful. Yeah. So loved that. Loved the drive. Really
so that's why we're a
went.
bit tired, because we've done all of this in literally Friday and Saturday.
Yes. Couple of articles from the Sir in English. There was a piece talking about the concerns over a fungus attacking some of Malaga province's vineyards, which could
you stay away from our vineyards, you nasty fungus.
It said it could see an 80% fall in this year's harvest, which is huge. Imagine if that was your business.
We don't generally drink Malaga wine, though.
That's true. There was also, it said the problem is widespread in many parts of Spain, including Castilla-La Mancha, and there was a photo there, which is where we've just been.
Valdepeñas.
Yes, Valdepeñas, exactly. So feel very sorry for the guys whose businesses.
Yeah, I mean anything like that when it happens.
Business.
I mean, we've had the whole olive oil thing where the harvests have been bad, so olive oil shot up in price. I mean, literally doubled in price, I think, if not more.
Mm.
But
talking of which, yeah, go on.
So they had bottles of local olive oil up there, and it was, one of the big bottles, 500 millilitres. And down here, I think now would be between 15 and 20 euros for that, because it's artisan olive oil. It's not your bog standard olive oil. I asked how much it was, and it was 8 euros, and we bought some. So,
and you got some Manchego cheese.
Yes, I said we can't leave here without actually buying some Manchego cheese. So
we've already had some since we've come
only
home.
got a little bit left now.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's very nice. There was a piece talking about the fact that Spain dominates the ranking of Europe's best pizzerias in 2025. There is a 50 top pizza guide, which doesn't include Italy. They have their own one. So it's other countries in Europe other than Italy. And Spain leads the rest of Europe. There are 7 restaurants in Spain in that list of top 50.
Bet Domino's, isn't there?
Oh, I bet Domino's, isn't there? Yeah, absolutely. And how exciting is this? There was an article in the Sir in English with the headline, Tuk-Tuk Spain.
I saw this and I meant to tell you about this.
Yeah. A sustainable tourist transport offer an alternative to donkey taxis in Mijas. And any alternative to donkey taxis in Mijas is a good thing. There was another protest the other day. Did you see? Lots of people protesting against them. Ever so cruel, these poor little donkeys, and these fat tourists get on their back and want to... Not nice, not nice. Don't get on a donkey. Get in a tuk-tuk.
Or get on a tourist.
Get on a tourist, yeah. But these tuk-tuks, I mean, they're different level, takes up to 6 passengers.
Wow, you can actually apply for the job. You've officially driven one.
Yes.
You could be the new tuk-tuk Spain driver. You could set up a franchise. In fact, you were so taken with all of this stuff that you wanted to actually try and bring them over. And haven't some of the girls on the group actually ordered them for their businesses in the UK?
I think so, yeah.
They're not very environmentally friendly, so I'm assuming this is an electric one or something. I assume, especially if it takes up to 6 passengers. But yeah, because they're not great for the environment.
No, absolutely. So yeah, if you come to the Costa del Sol, go to Mijas Pueblo and get on a tuk-tuk.
Talking of tuk-tuks, where did they end up this week in Race Across the World?
Oh my goodness, Goa. It was amazing watching Race Across the World because they're full on in India, getting in and out of tuk-tuks. It was really cool. And the final destination hotel was the Grand Hyatt, which is where Nikki and I ended our trip.
For 2 days.
Oh, Oh, it was brilliant. It was so amazing to see. It looked like a really beautiful hotel, didn't it?
Oh,
Which it was.
Yes, yeah, it was. And yeah, just lovely to see your face and getting so excited seeing the sights that you saw. And yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. And Nikki was watching it in the UK and we were messaging each other going, oh, look, that's where we were. It was very exciting. Very exciting. I see how much I'm grinning just talking about it.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear that your side. That's a speaking with a grin.
Yes. Well, that is it from us. Glad we were able to bring you the podcast before my busy day sunbathing tomorrow.
I'm going to go to bed now. Night.
No, you're not. We're going out. Whoop. That is it for this week. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.